lot of it comes from I need to be able to make my own money, right? So that I feel secure. I don't want to be in a relationship with a man who will leave me. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who will use his money against me. Let me make my own, right? So I would rather be secure. Let me work as hard as I can, make as much money as I can, so that I feel secure, safe, protected.
Hey guys, this is Anesu, aka Nyati Shonga.
Hello, my name is Chido, aka Chizzy. Wagwan, Advocate Amanda here. Hi everyone, this is Kuda, aka Cooks. Hi, and welcome to As Told by Us, the podcast. This is a weekly podcast where 4 professional millennials discuss living in Zimbabwe and trying to figure life out.
Someone once told us the grass is much greener on the other side.
But from where we're standing, our grass is green. Subscribe, like, share, comment down below.
Good day and welcome to the As Told by Us podcast. It's your girls, Amanda on the mic, Kuda, Chido, and Anesu, bringing you with our new episode.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey. Without any delay, I'm getting straight to today's dilemma because we prioritize your problems. Please remember, if you want to send us any questions, any burning issues that you want us to discuss on the podcast, see the link in our description for the anonymous. We're never going to know who it is. We're never going to tell. Here's today's dilemma. So I'm assuming it's a lady. She says, hey, ladies.
Hi.
So as a scary 30-something-year-old lady, I've had the struggle and I would want to hear you out on it. How do you strike a balance between self-control and natural urges? As we grow older, a lot of us start having sexual needs. When single, how do y'all deal with that? I mean, I get the toys and all that. However, okay, this part is Shana.
Well done.
Right? Yeah. And then she puts that SOS emoji and goes, help.
Oh man.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let us begin with the more mature of those around us. Anesu.
Wow, way to call me out.
No, I mean, you're the person who would ask those questions.
Such things. Oh, really?
I agree with Amanda. I would also ask you.
When single, how do you deal or strike a balance between self-control and natural urges?
Oh my goodness. I guess it would depend on your belief structure and your values.
Yeah.
Because it's either you're like on the purity side where you're thinking, okay, I want to be chaste, I want to keep myself for marriage and all of that jazz. At the same time, there's an age you get to where your body wants to have kids. I don't know if that makes sense. Like your body, you're brooding and your body actually wants you to have kids. Ovulation is real, all of that jazz. So I guess that's why she told us she's a 30-something woman. Because against popular belief, the women's, their libido and sex drive and all of that actually increases as you age.
Yeah.
So by 30, your body's thinking we should have popped out 15 kids by now. Okay, 2 kids by now. Right? So I think it just depends. So if you're that girly, if you're like a Christian girly who wants to continue to be chaste and all of that jazz, I would suggest staying away from like those things that can arouse you.
Men. It's your hormones. And she said, so that means some things need a person.
A man's. But yeah, like being someone who's also been through that, I would say if you're really wanting to try and not do anything, you just need to stay away from the stimulants. Because after some time, after not doing anything, you're going to find that you actually have those urges at a specific time in your cycle.
Yeah.
So
Like
all of that other
ovulation.
time, you don't need anyone to be, But it's like specific times in your cycle, your body actually tries to push you. Sorry guys, we're animals. It pushes you to mate. So you need to be a bit like balanced. If you have too many stimulants in your life, then you're definitely gonna crave the munu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my advice.
I would like to just know, so backing up from Anesu, is why she is, not why she's single, but why she's choosing not to engage, right? So if Anesu said, if she's trying to be chaste, right, then that's one thing. If it's just that the streets are wild and not that you're not looking for someone, but you just can't find the
right
person
person.
that you want to mate with, or if it's that you're a person, like a one person, if that makes sense. Some people don't want multiples, because really if you're looking for a person, any person, you'll find them, right? So I think sometimes just trying to, if you stay steadfast on why you're doing it and why you're not wanting to just find any random person, I think sometimes just refocusing, taking a walk, meditating, praying, all of those things will get your mind off it. And also, I think it's also important to just understand your body, right? I think a lot of these things are biological, and we don't really talk much about the biological aspects of our bodies, and we're afraid of our bodies. You're afraid of the urges, you're afraid of, why is my body doing this? Why am I craving this, that, and the other, right? But understanding your cycle is one thing. Understanding where you are at biologically with your own body. I think that's so important in any case in general, in being able to make good decisions. So when I'm feeling this urge because I'm ovulating. I'm feeling this urge because my hormones are just off whack right now, right? Then you're not afraid of it, and you're not afraid of your own body. Sometimes just learn yourself, learn your body.
Yeah, I think that's an important one. So, in the spirit of fighting natural urges versus self-control, Chido, what's your advice for our dilemma lady? How does she go about it as a single lady who appears to not really want to be doing stuff outside of a relationship?
I think I would just want to echo what both Anesu and Kuda have just said. Anesu said something that was really striking. Like, it just depends on your values. Like, what is it that you value? Like, if you're okay with finding somebody to scratch that itch or whatever it is, then it's your choice. It's what you want. But if it's something that is that you obviously want to find somebody more permanent who you can be intimate with, who you can be intimate with, then I think it would be worth the wait, and to just know okay, look, it's natural for me to feel these urges. I think also we've grown up in a society where kind of these urges are demonized. Oh, this is a demon, this is we should all just come from and understand that look, this is natural. And as Anesu said, at a certain age, your body is craving that, it wants that. So it's good for you to understand that it's natural and it's okay to have those urges. And it's also okay if they aren't satisfied. I don't know if that makes sense. But if you feel I have these urges and I don't want to act on them, I think it's okay to just kind of be like, okay, I'm feeling this way, but I'm not going to act on it, you know?
Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty solid advice. The only thing I would then add is this issue of shame. And I think the tendency to then, I think if you have shame surrounding these kind of feelings, then it becomes easy to either force yourself into a situation to be like, okay, I'm going to be in a relationship with this person, and you're not actually being honest with yourself that really you're just trying to fulfill your needs. So I think really the most solid thing that we can say is just knowing your body and knowing yourself and stick to it. I think there's a lot of shame that's put, especially on women, for feeling a certain way about sex. It's like you're just a person who's there, but no respect is given to the fact that you actually have feelings. So you kind of have to just respect yourself and your feelings and, do what's right with your heart. So anyway, moving right along.
That was pretty juicy.
The dilemma itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So today's topic is, how far are you willing to get rich? So we are living in a very moneyed or money-driven culture and society. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, is that hustle culture and the pressure to get rich quickly, and how we're navigating that, how we experience it. So how far are you guys willing to go to get that bag, to get that money? Nowadays, it's so normalized to have money on your mind and nothing else. If it ain't about the money, I can quote so many songs, but that's the culture that we live in today. So how do you guys feel about getting your bag? Is it money over everything, or do you think that's taking it a bit too far? How would you measure even being rich in the first place? What does that mean to you? Is it about, the way that you look, the things that you have, or what you're able to do with the money? Basically, how do you feel about money and the culture around it and getting rich? Who wants to jump right in on this one?
MMV. Appears.
Of course.
I think first of all, I'd like to say, in our society, I feel there's kind of a stigma, or there's weird vibes around money. It's kind of spoken in hushed tones. We don't have a culture of financial literacy from when we're young. You kind of have to do that on your own. So a lot of people have a kind of toxic relationship with money. And I would attest that even to myself, I had to actually read books and watch YouTube videos to actually understand, okay, this is how I should be saving my money. This is how I should be investing my money, etc., etc. So, yeah, those are my opening arguments.
I definitely feel that as you grow older, the pressure to have money becomes real, because one of how it's become so intertwined with society that you can't survive without it. Let's be honest. And most comforts are associated with having money. And especially on the part of women. I think I also want us to talk about that thing to say that is money everything in, say, a relationship? Is that what you're looking for? Because that's, in our modern society, that's equated to food and water. Now having money means the provision of your basic needs. So how much importance do you give money to that? Cheeto.
So I was trying to think of what I wanted to say. Sorry. But I was thinking, how we're living, currently in Zim, there's this, as you were saying, there's this culture of hustling and whatever. And particularly even with young girls, of wanting to get money quick, fast, in university, you're okay, how do I get money? Who's an available mbinga for me to kind of attach myself to get money? That kind of thing. It's the hustle culture has just it's grown so much. It feels like a monster that's just eating away at everybody. Like, wakagara bamba, you're not making money. Like, as a girl, you can't just be chilling, 29, nothing to do, get married, look for a guy with money, that kind of thing. Like, it's just now, it's basically infiltrated like everything, and sometimes it's difficult. I'll speak for myself, like being a professional who's like working and earning her almonds.
Not peanuts, almonds.
Cashews. Earning my cashews, exactly. It feels like, dang, like all these other girls, like girls younger than me, their mandems have bought them cars and they're like getting their rent paid. It's kind of feeling like, should I also be getting into that?
For me, I think the need for money, I'm blaming social media again. As per every episode, I will blame social media for everything. I think for men, there's the pressure to make money, to be super rich and super successful. Because you're following, you want to be a new Jeff Bezos, you want to be Elon Musk, you want to be Future or Drake or whoever. Because in any case, money gives you the luxury to have all the good toys, the good cars, the good watches, It makes you feel good about yourself. But you also get the huns that want the men with the money, right? So you want to be one of those men that have the money, right? For girls, for us, it stems out of a need for security, right? So I will go look for a person with money because I want a certain lifestyle, yes, but B, security from not poverty. That's taking it too far. But I don't
soft life.
Yeah, I want a soft life, but I also want to just know that I'm set for life. Right? I don't have to want for anything. But the softer the better. Right? And then even for us that do work, a lot of it comes from I need to be able to make my own money. Right? So that I feel secure. I don't want to be in a relationship with a man who will leave me. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who will use his money against me. Let me make my own, right? So I would rather be secure. Let me work as hard as I can, make as much money as I can so that I feel secure, safe, protected, Lots of times you'll find women, before they get married now, particularly in the field that we are in, which is law, right? You find a lot of women and men. Okay, you find a lot of people hiding assets, for example.
From their
spouse. There's that hiding of assets, or like just before I get married, he doesn't know I bought a stand. He doesn't know I have a house. He doesn't know I have this car somewhere sitting somewhere. So can we put that in a trust that he will never find out about, right? Men do the same thing, right? They buy properties and things. Can we put that somewhere?
My mom's name.
In my mom's name, that you can't take because, and that in itself tells you anyway the state of our relationships because they are the absolute septic tank. Because everyone is, no one fully, completely trusts the person that they're with, right? So it's all security. It's also all greed. But I also think, again, you're looking at social media and like your influencers that have a certain lifestyle. You don't even know how they got the money to go to the Maldives. You don't know that. But you want to go to the Maldives too. So what are you going to do then is find a person who's able to take you to the Maldives. Not, let me work hard and take myself to the Maldives. That takes time. But let me find someone who can afford Maldives for me. Because I also would like to post on my Instagram, Maldives today, Bali tomorrow, Dubai the next day. I also want to post LV. What is that orange box? That orange LV box that everybody, half the time, let me tell you,
It's empty.
it's empty. There's nothing in it. But you also want to post, and they will let you. Let me tell you, if you go into LV, they charge you a fee to take a picture with the box. That's all you need to do. You don't have to unwrap it. So go into LV, pay the $10, take your picture, and move on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what Chido was saying about it being like a monster is actually really reflective of Zimbabwe and how
Harare.
should we be specific?
I feel like we need to differentiate.
Harare, the pits of Harare, and like because. What's that saying? That the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
I really feel evil, guys, when I walk the streets of Harare. Like, everyone is trying to make money so quickly. And it's like, it's actually scary. Like, just going to like a market in town there. Guys, the way they will niche your money, the way you will spend money if you don't know what's going on. Like, everyone is trying to make money somehow at the expense of someone else. And it's crazy, like, how are you going to get a driver's license in Harare? Are you not going to put some extra cash for someone to help you out? Or all of that? Like, it's so deep-rooted in our culture that it's really scary now. Like, how far do people want to take it? Like what Kuda was saying, like, social media is, it's a beast on its own. And I feel like the whole soft life and luxury and all of this has been on our screens for so long that...
And we've been in poverty for so long.
Poverty.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, I think there's like it's the scarcity of it that then makes it so amplified that I don't have anything and I need to get to that. I need to get the LV bag. I need to be able to post where I'm going, all these things, so that people will, like, I guess, admire me. I don't know, man. The love of likes is hectic.
Respect, hey, comes with money. I don't know. You know, when you're walking down the street and you know a guy driving a Range Rover, ne? He's like, I'm Dara, big up Dara, right? A guy driving a Vids is not going to get the same respect from people in the street, right? So you also are trying to feed your own ego.
But then if you're driving a Vitz, like, you're actually in a vehicle, you know? Like, you need to also think about it, I don't know, like, relatively, you know, kind of. Because, like, if you were to always be comparing yourself to my Ningi, who's driving a Range Rover, right? You don't know how she got that. Like, she could have a snake puking money in her mansion, bruh.
Or she might not have any toes left.
Yeah,
She doesn't wear sandals no more.
Or it's a lease.
It's even a lease. So and you're looking at yourself thinking, oh, you know, I'm really bottom of the barrel. I'm driving a bit, bro. If you actually had $6,000 to buy a bit, like, you're doing well, you know. You're doing all right. You could be waiting there by Copacabana waiting for compis, but you're
The
not.
rest of us.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think something important that Chido's just touched on is this I guess fast money versus slow money, which feeds into the new money versus old money, and the price to be paid, especially when it comes to fast money, big money. I think that's really a thing in Zim right now, where it's like you have obscenely rich, like it's not normal the number of G-Wagons that you see in the streets of Harare. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, I guess that's a good choice of car in the terrain, but it's still
The rough terrain of the Harare
it's just
streets.
now the extreme levels of equality, which feeds into this narrative of having a certain group of people, very small percentage of people, who are riding off the backs of others or other situations, whatever price it is that they pay for the fast money. So my question to you guys is, where do you stand? Would you rather be crying in a Range Rover or have your peace with like a moderate amount of wealth? What does it even mean to be rich to you? And how far are you really willing to go to get to that status? Are you the person who's like, look, as long as I'm in my G-Wagon, everything else, I'm going to pay the price that's going to come with that? Or is it more like, well, I want to build a sustainable, generational type of wealth? And I think those two things, even aesthetically, come across different.
Yeah.
Because you've seen that thing to say that most rich people actually drive Toyotas. So when the people who have money are driving the Toyota, because their relationship with money, like what MMV was talking about earlier, is a bit different, because they're seeing as money as something to grow, something that works for me. Whereas there's another group of people who are like, I'm just here to splash it because it's going as fast as it came.
Yeah.
So MMV, you look like you're ready to jump in on this one.
Coming in hot. I feel like some people are more concerned with icing than actually baking a great cake. So
that's just how it talks.
But icing,
icing, but icing is not sustainable. It's actually the work that goes into actually baking like the cake itself, and the icing is something you put on top. So some people really want to like flex and derive their self-worth from these external things, and it's really tough. So I feel like the way I would look at it is like self-love is the first thing you need to have. Self-love and self-awareness, understanding in a very real way what's the lifestyle that you want to live. How does your career align with this lifestyle? What do your expenses look like? What are you really trying to achieve? I personally am on the slow money side. I think generational wealth is better because it's just bigger than me. And I feel like, especially in a culture with Black culture, where we don't have the luxury of like other races where they have like foundations, they have structures in trusts, inheritance, all these things. We don't have all of that. So we kind of have to, the change actually has to start with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Come on, icing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a bit difficult. I also like sustainable money, but then especially being in the environment that we're in now, I kind of feel, that pressure of you gotta go hard or go home. You have to be an element of cutthroat. I think there's a quote that's been going around to say that with every rich family, it started with a thief, or someone had to be a thief or something
that's
like
true.
that.
That's McDonald's.
And even if you look around, there's an unspoken reality to it, to say that there is a certain punch or going further for you to actually make the real money, in quotation marks, that's then going to be cleaned or washed or whatever. So in terms of your morality when it comes to money, where do you stand?
These are deep
How
questions.
far are you willing to go?
No, listen.
Are you willing to go to Dubai?
And do the thing.
Don't finish the sentence.
Are you willing to go to Dubai? Rich quick.
What happens in Dubai?
Don't finish.
I've heard it's
Funny
like
stories.
wait. What is
It's
that?
not
What is
okay.
that thing called? Like yellow. What is it called? Like a yellow something. But anyway, like don't people get peed on or something to get money?
Wait, golden shower.
Oh yeah,
Yellow.
I mean yellow, golden. Hey, come on.
It's close to each other.
Personally, I'm not willing to go very far to make money. Right? If the money does not come from working, I'm not sure. Unless I'm very rich. But I'm not sure. I'm not willing to go to some sekuru somewhere to get rich. I'm not willing to cut off my toes. I like my toes. I'm not willing to, what's the other thing you said? Get a snake. That's not me. But again, I'm a Christian girlie, so I definitely think that I'm trying to go to heaven, guys. There's very few things that I'll do for it. I think I will work hard, and what I make, right?
So, are you okay with if you work hard and at the end of your life you haven't like lived the soft life
There's
that
no
you would
way.
have wanted?
There's no way. If I work hard, I'm living the soft life. But
what if you don't get the money?
No, but you see, softness also is relative.
Okay.
Right. I definitely think softness is relative. I don't need. Okay, let me not put that in the air. But I feel like oh, put that in the atmosphere, child, in case God says, "Oh, you said you don't need it." Okay. Never mind. But softness for me is very relative. I don't think, even currently with my cashews, I'm not comfortable. Right? Like, would I want more? Yes. Can I get more? Yes. Right. So, and how I live for me is relatively comfortable. There's obviously, I'm not at a level yet where I have 10 cars, 10,000 properties, but it does not seem to me like an impossible task to be able to, for example, buy properties and buy more cars or whatever. I don't know. But I just...
With your cashews in Zimbabwe. With your cashews in Zimbabwe. Without crossing lines.
I never said all that. I didn't say all of that. I didn't say all of that.
I don't know. I think even from what Kuda's saying, I do feel that there's a sense of privilege that comes with this question. Yeah. Because there's a certain position you have to be in to turn the other cheek and say, well, I'm above doing this and that for money.
Absolutely.
But I mean, even if we look at the avenues, for example, I don't think anyone is there by choice.
Yeah.
And I don't think one of us here backs against the wall. It's you and life. You've got no qualifications. You've got no prospect of being employed.
That's true.
None of us here can really, really say how far you're going to go. Because when it becomes a matter of survival, of course, if you're saying, look, I'm a corporate girly, I've got my degree, I'm a practicing lawyer. Already, we are in a very small percentage of women in our age group or in our position. But like, for a moment, put yourself in that position where you haven't got anything. And then you've got some man who's there and he's got all the means and is offering you something that could literally save your family, get you an education, put you on. And
wait, I'll be honest. No. But wait, are we differentiating then between making money? How far I would go to just make enough to survive?
Yeah.
Or enough to be rich?
We want enough to be rich.
That's what I'm saying. Because to survive, if I'm really in a hard, sticky situation, then you're right. There's not much I can say no to, right? Because I need to eat. But to be rich, so I'm fine. I just now want more. I want extra.
But I guess it would then, there's like a very thin line that you would cross. If you were saying, I'm doing this, this, and this to survive, and you get your money and everything, lifestyle creep is a real thing. So you need to continue to do whatever that is that you've decided to do in order to make more and live more comfortably. So you're saying, I'm now moving my family from Bari to Borrowdale. That means that's like a lifestyle shift. That means you're now getting cars. You need this, this, and this extra that you might not have needed in Bari.
True.
So the line is, I think I agree with Amanda. I wouldn't want to say, never say never. I think I'm there where, well, right now I feel like I'm okay. I wouldn't be compromising my morals to get money. But at the same time, if Zim continues the way it is, man, I might become a McDonald's guy and steal someone's idea. I can't be in a position to say never. I would never. Yeah.
But also, I agree with Anyasu. Like, I feel like if I were like unqualified at my age, hey guys, the
truth is that
tension is high.
Do the qualifications even make a difference in the Zimbabwe that we're living in? It's like a drop in the ocean.
It's not enough. But then also right, everyone in Zim, almost everyone in Zim, has the regular job and another job.
A side
hustle, right? It seems impossible to live comfortably on your salary.
On your cashews.
On my cashews. It seems impossible. You know what I mean? And here's also my thought. If there are people that can have 100 billion, 300 billion, why not me? Right? What makes them so special? So if they are going the extra mile, obviously fine, our economy is what it is, right? But there are people really making money in regular situations. Right. Okay, they are stealing. But they're stealing legally.
There we go.
Right.
You see, I think...
So why not me? That's my question.
We have a tendency to sanitize some of these things, because let's talk about side hustles, right?
Yeah.
Before we even go far, let's talk about side hustles. You're stealing from your boss.
You're stealing time.
You're stealing from your boss. And it's become a matter of necessity. I've seen it. It's a bit more intense in fields like, like police jobs and whatever. But I feel like we tend to slide that scale of morality just depending
all the time
on the situation.
All the time.
To the extent that right now we've normalized certain things like, you need to bribe to get a driver's license, but it's still a bribe.
It's their side hustle. It's what are they gonna do? Because what are they gonna do? The VID people, how are they gonna feed their family? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not for giving those people bribes or whatever. But at the same time, I also kind of understand. I empathize because it's like, okay, even like teachers, for example, right? They teach 8 to 3 or whatever the time is. But then they'll always have like, extra lesson, that's their side hustle. I mean, they need to do that to survive. Because if they don't, then...
Okay, say the economy was fine. Your economy is thriving.
But it's not.
Say it is. Your economy is thriving. Life is great. Life is grand, right? You have a decent house. You have a decent job that pays you more than cashews. You have 2 G-Wagons. Perhaps a Ferrari. Right? You've got money in the bank account. You can send your current children, say you have 4, to Harvard cash. Would you
That's
still...
rich.
Would you... Okay, here's my question. Would you still want more? Are you now saying, I want... Say your bank account has 1 million. Are you now saying, actually, I want 500 million?
I think for a fact you will. Because I don't know how much you guys have interacted with people making money. That thing is an addiction. Because it's 2 things. Either you've done it right from your bootstraps and you're now making money. You're never going to feel like it's enough. And you're always going to feel like you want more. Or you've decided to do something shady in the beginning to get yourself to a certain position. I think once you're there, you're stuck. It's now a never-ending cycle of chasing money. It doesn't actually stop. It's never enough.
So there's never a point where you say, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because are we just greedy? Is that what we're saying?
I think we are. So. I think we're inherently greedy. Oof. We are.
Inherent.
This is like one of the 7 sins, isn't it?
Greed.
Yeah,
it is.
7 deadly sins.
Shout. That's a good shout.
But guys, I feel like it's inescapable. There's a certain price to be paid. Because even if you look at any big corporations, any person, any entity that's making money at a scale that's noteworthy, there's always something. If it's cheating, it's the labor practices. If it's this and that, it's like displacement of people. There's always going to be that element or that point where you're going to have to be able to shift the morality scale in order to make real money.
Right.
As Ines just said, though, money is the source of all evil.
No, it's the love of money.
The love of money.
Yeah.
The love of money is
so money is fine. Like, live comfortably and all of that. I think it then comes into that greed thing Amanda was talking about, where it's now so like you're insatiable. You need more. You need to have that amount in your bank account. You need to have that much money in your... Yo, guys, have you seen the people who have money in their homes? Like stacks. Yeah, you just want to see it. You want to...
Yeah. What?
Yes.
But I think ultimately it goes back to what MMV said, where I think it's when you're in that cycle of trying to fill something in your life using money, you'll very quickly find that it's not enough. Because you'll get it, okay, your first million is exciting, okay, you've got a G-Wagon, but then at some point that novelty wears out. And you're now surrounded by people who are just there for your money. And there's that sinking feeling of, well, I'm not in on without the money. And I get the question is, which one do you choose?
Money also puts a target on your back. If you have a lot of money, we live in a very jealous society. People, and even in families, people decide whether to give you respect or not based on how much you have. Sometimes certain family functions will move until the person with the bag arrives. Yeah, so I feel like I'll just encourage everyone to have an abundance mentality, you know. Definitely the reality presented to us, there's a lot of scarcity, there's a lot of shortcuts, there's a lot of reasons to excuses to actually like go away from morality. But then if you just set the goalpost for yourself and go like, you know what, I won't let my self-esteem, my self-worth be determined by these material things. It's extremely difficult. It's easier said than done. But it's a much healthier way to live life, because ultimately you're gonna die and you can't take that money with you.
It's true. And the thing is with like the things we've been talking about, the rituals and whatever, right? I don't think people then consider that those are generational curses that you're then putting onto your... So instead of giving them generational wealth, you left them with these weird things that they now need to deal with.
Exactly.
Because people will be like, baba wakaromba, what? And it's now like, did you really need to do that? Yeah.
Hectic.
I think social media needs to close down.
Any parting words, Chido?
All I just want to say is the love of money is the root of all evil, baby. Just stick to your cashews, bruh. You'll be fine.
All right, and that's a wrap. Thank you so much for being with us to do this episode. Please follow us on all the socials. Feel free to engage, like, share this with a friend if there's anything worth sharing that you've heard. Don't forget to check out our anonymous link. Just speak to us. We're pretty friendly and you might just get a shout out on the show. And that's a wrap. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.